Let's build a team and get you all of those sweet World Tournament rewards. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the 46th World Martial Arts Tournament currently going on Global Dokkan right now. We're going to take a look at the list of rewards and show you how you can put together a team that will help you complete all of the missions necessary if you want to easy A some of the new characters from this month's World Tournament. So let's go ahead, let's start by taking a look at some of the considerations you need for putting together your team, because obviously I'm sure all of you watching this video want to do well because you want to easy A one of these characters, right? And you're gonna need to have a pretty good team to get enough points. So let's start by the first consideration above all others, and that is whenever you are building a team for World Tournament, you want to build a team that utilizes AoE super attacks. There are several good characters, and all of which are readily available, or most of which are readily available, if not some are older enough that if you've been playing for a bit, you may have picked them up, or you may have picked them up on a guaranteed LR sometime within the past year, right? So some of the characters on here, right, with an AoE super are characters like the STR Broly, honestly one of the best characters for this event. The free-to-play Fizz Krillin, if you're on JP, the new Super Boo, the AGL Majin Vegeta. These two units, the STR Piccolo, EZA, and this AGL Gotenks, this guy is actually really good for his. The Tech Majin Vegeta, the STR Boo, this AGL Frieza, LR Cell on his 12 key has an AoE super attack. The STR Cell, if you're somebody who's picked this guy up from a while ago, on his 11 key, so if you avoid his 12 key super attack, he actually has an AoE super attack. The TUR of the Prime Battle Krillin also has an AoE attack if you wanted to use him. The AGL Nappa and Vegeta and the Fizz Raditz also have a AoE super attack, along with this free-to-play Fizz second form Frieza. The Fizz Broly, who got his EZA earlier in the year, a good unit for this. Chowman, Int Raditz, who is free to play, this Fizz Zeno Trunks, and the Great Ape Vegeta, and then this, I doubt anybody would have this Arale, but if you happen to have her, she does have a AoE super attack. But I mean, that's essentially it. So when building a team, you want to try to build a team around these characters. Now the problem is, when building a team around these characters, as you can see, there's no consistent theme amongst all of them, right? Maybe pure Saiyans. So really what you also need is a good leader for these area of effect super attack characters. So in order to best cover most of them, or most of the ones you have, right, because it is dependent on your box, you're going to want to look at some of the all type leaders, right? And some of the best ones that are free to play available are the Int Goku and the Fizz Gohan here. These two are very good options because they are free to play. So if you can clear ESBR and fully EZA these guys, then they are good options to sub in as leaders. If you went for the lower leader skill and you're just dead set on using Ghost Ushers, you could just run the Fizz Goku, right? Because the actual damage you're dealing will be enough even under his leader skill with all three characters utilizing their AoE super attack, as long as you have a Ghost Usher handy. And with the new Infinite Zenny trade in the Baba Shop, it shouldn't be that hard to pick up some. Other good leaders to utilize are the AGL Goku or the Tech Frieza. Just note that you do have to keep them all super or all extreme to make them work. Same goes for these guys. That's basically the best way to make them work. The Tech Vegito Blue and the STR Rose. The only thing about these guys is you have to have one of each type on the team in order to make it work. You also have, for a little bit lower, for a leader skill that could cover them, on the super side of things, you have the LR Vegito Blue or the LR, if you've been playing Battlefield, the LR Metal Cool Army. So just some considerations for when you decide to put together a team. You want a leader that pretty much covers all types, because in reality there isn't too much consistency amongst the teams other than the class typing, right? So just some things to consider. Now, before we come back and look at the rewards and show you how to go to the rewards, I'm actually going to hop into my game here and kind of just show you how to piece together a team, right? And I'll show you one of the major teams that I use when doing it. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pause the video, we're going to transition over here real quick. All right, let's get this going. All right, we are in game now, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hop over to our team building page here. We've got a couple of different teams. So right now the current team I'm using is this one up top here with the, you can see that it's currently participating in the World Tournament. So it's got the LR Piccolo, the LR Jackie Chun from the previous World Tournament, and then the STR Broly, the Fizz Cell, and the AGL Nappa and Vegeta, led by that Int Goku. Now, I chose those three as my AoE units because the Nappa, the Broly, and the Cell, because one, they're all LRs, and one thing you want to note about World Tournament is you want to prioritize using LRs if you have them. But they are the easiest to get their AoE attack because it is their 12 key. Now, the reason I'm running the Piccolo and the Int Jackie Chun is because during every World Tournament, if we come over to the missions page here, there's actually missions for clearing with certain category characters, right? So if we look down here, the current conditions are Earthbred Fighters, World Tournaments, and Power of Wishes. So that is why the Piccolo and the Jackie Chun are there. But I mean, you could use any characters on that category. You just have to have one in each of the categories. So I tried to combine as many of them as I could, and it resulted in Piccolo and Jackie Chun being on the team. So anyways, back to the team. Let's talk about team building here. So let's try to put together a team here. So the first thing we're going to do is sort by, not type, we're going to go to effect. We're going to select all type super attack and super attack. So you can see my box here. These are all the area of effect super type super attack characters I have. So as long as I want to lead with this Goku, I can fill him in with basically anybody, right? If I didn't have a lot of these powerful LRs, I could fill in the Krillin, who is free to play. I could fill in this guy. At some point, the Raditz is free to play as well, so I could fill in those three, and I've at least got 3 free to play units. And chances are you may have picked up maybe the Gotenks, maybe the STR Piccolo, maybe the Majin Vegeta, or maybe one of these older LRs here to fill in the rest. So that's really what you want to do when you're putting together your team. Obviously, though, if where possible, you want to prioritize LRs. So if I didn't need the Piccolo or the Jackie Chun at the moment, I would probably run a team setup, maybe without him and the Great Ape Vegeta. Now, the Great Ape Vegeta only gets his on his 18 key, but it's easier to get than the Majin Vegeta, so I would probably run him instead. But this basically means that no matter what, I am having characters that can launch an AoE super attack, and then all I have to do is mitigate damage with items. Now, let's say you don't have a bunch of LR characters, or you don't necessarily care about reaching the top, you just want to complete it. Well, there are 2 characters that actually are very, very useful for you in doing that. So let's find the first one here. So the first one is on Space Traveling Warriors, right? This character will really, really help you in clearing your World Tournament. If I can find him here. Here we go. The Jockos. I have one that's already built up. Where is he? Let's go SSR, right? Because he's already awakened. Yeah, here he is, the Tech Jocko. This guy is really, really good because of this effect here. So he's very useful for World Tournament. because the may stun all enemies. Basically, the way this works is the moment he shows up, he stuns all of the enemies. So it'll give you a free turn to let your 2 or 1 AoE unit on the turn deal some damage before you can attack on the next turn, right? So if you're not somebody who's got a team full of LRs, a character like this who is readily available, who you may have pulled in your summons, maybe pulled quite a few of them if you've ever summoned on a banner, you can use this guy to stun enemies, and you don't even have to invest anything in him. Literally the only reason I've got investment in him is just because I keep pulling him, right? But you could totally do that, and it'll help you put together a team, right? So if I wanted to, right, I could remove, right, one of my LRs and put him on. Say I didn't have any other good characters to use, right? We'll take off the Vegeta too, because there's also one more character you could use, and he is in... Is he Saiyan Saga? Yes, he is. This Int Chaozu here, right? So you could throw him on your team as well. And he has the same effect as the Jocko. So again, it really depends on your box, but as you can see, with 2 characters like that who are readily available, if we switch back to our AoE super attack, you could easily build a team like this with a decent enough leader skill. Let's remove these 2 guys since they're summonable, and we'll put him on, and this guy, and look, my entire team is basically free to play with the exception of those 2 summonable SRs. Now, it's not going to get you the most points quickly, but it will get you enough points to clear the stage. And this team, back before I pulled all these LRs, I used this exact team right here to get all of my points, get all 50 stones, and get everything. So you can absolutely get what you need out of this World Tournament. It just may take a little while longer, but that's the basic setup for World Tournament. So if we come over here to the World Tournament tab, the last thing I want to showcase here is the item usage. So if you can see here, I've already been running a few stages here with that team I had showed you previously, but my item setup is always as follows: a King Yama, because I want damage reduction items just in case I don't want to use, I maybe want to save my Ghost Ushers because I'm running low. So I have a King Yama for damage reduction sometimes. Now, you could use a Whis or an Icarus. I prefer not to use the Whis because I use those for my red zone runs and other type of runs. So I'll use the 50% damage reduction from the King Yama. You only need it for the 1 turn anyways. Fruit of the Tree of Might is helpful because sometimes, because of the way these teams work, they don't always get enough key to super attack, and because for most of these you only need the 12 key, the Fruit of the Tree of Might gives you, how much is it? Yeah, 3 key for 3 turns. So for most, that ought to be enough with key pickup to get your super attack and launch your AoE super. Obviously, we have the Ghost Ushers here. I need to buy some more, but those are helpful as they delay all enemy attacks for 1 turn, like that Jocko that you saw, or that other character. If you have the Chaozu, that's his name. My goodness, why couldn't I remember his name? If you have like the tech androids or something, or, you could use them, right? Because they can activate their skill. Although, actually, no, they can't because there's too many enemies. Never mind. Yeah, so don't do that. So Ghost Usher is the way to go. And with the Infinite Zenny thing, it's probably not that hard to pick it up. And then, of course, any other items you use. If you're using that AGL Majin Vegeta that I showed you guys, probably, or maybe like, yeah, the AGL Majin Vegeta, or any of the others that need their 18 key, bringing an orb changing item like a Chilai are very helpful in that regard, right? The Chilai changes AGL orbs, very helpful for that Int Majin Vegeta, right? So very, very easy to do. It doesn't really matter the units you use as long as you can survive each turn and launch your AoE super attack, which is usually more than enough to take out the enemy. The enemies aren't that powerful defensively, they tend to just be more offensive, right? So you want to mitigate damage, right? Because literally by the time you get up there in the clears, you're talking about enemies that can literally destroy you in a single hit, and you'll see why that's a problem here in a second when we switch back over, because if you get destroyed in a single hit, it resets your streak. So let's go ahead, let's transition back to the Dokkan wiki, and let's take a look at the list of rewards. We're not going to do the full breakdown of them, but just a few of the major ones that are the reason we're making this video anyway. So let's go ahead, let's head back over. Alright, so we are in the Dokkan Wiki now, and we're going to take a look at some of the rewards from this month's World Tournament. So the big reward system this time, obviously you get the tickets for summoning, which you can use to summon on the World Tournament banners. But the big thing here is getting these EZA medals. Now these EZA medals have to be exchanged in the Baba shop using these Hercule signatures, and the only way to get these Hercule signatures is to complete the World Tournament. So if we go ahead, we look here, one of the first ways to get them is through your score. You'll see at 1 million points you can get 5 tickets, and every incremental area you'll get more, right? So at 5 million you get 5 more, 7 million 5 more, 8 million 5 more, and so on and so on. I think from score you get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, and then 55 tickets, right? So not quite enough to do anything with yet, right? If we look at the Baba's treasure, it's like for the LR Piccolo. If you had the LR Piccolo, for example, it's 3 for 1, and you need 45 of this. So you're talking, you need a minimum of 100 or so tickets before being able to actually EZA your Piccolo. So just be aware that it's going to be a grind, and you may not get all of these tickets in one World Tournament. The other way to pick up these EZA tickets is from, where is it? There's our wins, from your local ranking. So no matter what in your local ranking, no matter what you place, as long as you're within 300, you will get some tickets. But the higher your rank, the better you are, right? So if you manage to place first, not only will you get 2 copies of the Jackie Chun and a bunch of summoning tickets and some stones, you'll get 90 of the Hercule signatures. That combined with all of your wins, your score, your extra missions from your dailies, right? Where's the dailies? Does that show up here? Local extra. Is it under extra? Yeah, here we go. And the extra 9 from the dailies, right? Because 3 times. From that, all of those combined, if you manage to get first place, you would have enough to EZA everyone here. But, you know, most people aren't making it number 1, so you have to prioritize who you want. So as long as you can make it within the top 10 of your locals branch, you can EZA the LR, and then maybe one other. If you're anything outside of the top 10, you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna have to decide who you want to EZA and save the rest. If you are outside of the top 10, I recommend you saving all of your tickets until the next World Tournament when you can EZA the Piccolo. But I say all of this to say, if you follow the guide earlier in this video and you put together a team using the recommendations that I have given, you will easily get enough tickets to EZA at least one of these characters, because you will have gotten the wins. You will have reached the different tiers and gotten your stones. You will have gotten the score, whether you go all the way up to 30 million or you stop at, most people stop at 23 with the last stone. No matter where you go, you'll be able to do it, even with that TUR team I showed you guys, that even though you want to prioritize LR, you could easily do it with a team like the one I showed you, and it'll just take a little while longer. So anyways, guys, that is the video. That is my team building guide for World Tournament. Very, very easy, simple recommendations to follow. Prioritize area of effects, prioritize LRs where it can. If you're a free-to-play player, there are plenty of good free-to-play options to get you through any World Tournament. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what is your World Tournament setup and how often do you participate? Are you someone who grinds it out every chance they get, or are you only starting now because of the EZAs? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.